This rapper deployed golden hair. The reason behind this is unbelievable. At the beginning of his career, he was completely unknown and no one cared for his music. But all that changed after he declared himself a rival to Mr. Beast and changed your look completely. Now, Dan Sur is known throughout the world for owning the most expensive hairstyle in the world. But the most shocking thing is why he did all this. During his career on TikTok, Dan has been seen with several hairstyles, one stranger than the other. But what has really caught attention is the price he paid for it. In a recent video, his followers sarcastically asked him how he cuts his hair. And to answer the question, Dan Sur took pliers and took out one of the several crystals that make up her hair. According to the rapper, just that small crystal in his head is worth $100,000, and added together, they easily exceed $10 million. Just hearing the price, you might imagine that his songs are a huge success, but that's not the case. Although many people know him as a rapper, the truth is that most of his fame did not come from his music, but rather because of his controversies. And your hair has been the biggest one. If you're wondering if it's a wig or something, the answer is no. As crazy as it sounds, Dan actually implanted gold chains in his head. At the time, he said he did it because he always dreamed of having golden hair, but the truth is that it was all just a strategy to attract attention on the internet. And it seems that this has worked. At first, her hair was not gold like in the video, but metal. But people were so shocked by Dan Sur's different appearance that he started to gain a lot of followers. Even so, the big leap in his career was when he came up with this hairstyle. Thanks to him, from one moment to the next, he had more than 10,000 followers for more than 10 million. But despite the number of followers, the truth is that no one follows him because of his talent as a rapper or charisma. In reality, most of his followers find him arrogant and unpleasant, following him only for criticism. One of the main complaints is that the entire life he presents on TikTok is fake, and the rapper is nothing more than a fraud. Many say that Dan Sur's hair is not actually gold, but rather cheap bronze, and all that luxury that surrounds the rapper is not even his, but just an act for the videos. This isn't hard to believe. After all, it's common nowadays for people to pretend to have a life they don't have just to gain followers. There have even been people saying that the fake gold has started to affect Dan Sur's mind and is driving him crazy. And maybe that's true. Look at what he's been saying in his videos. In one of his most recent posts, the rapper stated that Mr. Beast always consults him on financial matters, and still enjoyed mocking YouTuber, saying that he does much more humanitarian aid than him, but chooses not to show it to everyone. Another of his controversies is that he is a close friend of the hacker group Anonymous, and also stated that a member of the group helped him expose some of his haters in the past. Whether this is true or not, I don't know, but one thing is for sure, this guy is crazy and out of control. So much so that he recently announced his candidacy for president of Mexico with the promise that he would pay all of the country's debts. So far, the elections haven't taken place and there's nothing to indicate that he can win. But imagine how crazy it would be to have a guy like that as president. Despite all this, one thing is certain. Dan Sur has been making a lot of money from his videos. His posts easily surpass 1 million views, and at this point, even if his hair wasn't gold, he could easily buy a real one. The biggest proof of this is the luxurious life that the rapper has been flaunting on social media, where he is always surrounded by money and sports cars. But what about you? Do you think what he says is true?